Welcome to the 19th episode of the Out on Loan podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jeffrey Canova, with a little bit of allergies, but kind of here to help me out with the allergies and making an awesome show. I got the gang with me again, obviously, the big three with Isaac, Ciaran, as always, welcome. And then, obviously, of course, my good friend, Enrico Chargi. A few things to talk about today. Obviously, we're going to talk about AFCON final, Madrid drama, Manchester United. I think the theme of this episode, boys, is going to be called Misery Turned into Hope. A New Hope. I will not use A New Hope to take away the Star Wars reference here and there, but there's a bit of hope here and there. But as always, please follow our social medias at the Out Alone Podcast on Instagram, TikTok. Hopefully our Twitter will become. We always say this, but I'm thinking this will be the week we actually get that Twitter going, just so we can rage bait a few people here and there. But apologies again if you hear my allergies. I've just been it's that time of the year where allergies and everything. But also please follow Robin Stone Pictures as always. Batman, thank you again. We don't call you Robin, we call you Batman around here for producing and editing all of our reels and episodes on the YouTube account as well. But for our first segment of the episode, as always, it's no longer, we usually say Misery Monday for United fans, but I think this weekend has been just a bright side, as proven through Isaac's background drop here with the Casemiro. The wall that is the background, the wall that is the Titan, the Madrid legend, and now the Manchester United legend as well in Casemiro, being crucial in that, 2-0 victory for the Red Devils over the Citizens, for Little City, as they like to call them. But boys, the United fans here, thoughts on just an amazing win for you guys. I mean, you guys always seem to dominate City in these like must-win derbies. Like this is what I like about United. Like when there's like a game against Liverpool or a game against Arsenal, or there's this massive game against City, a derby in there, you guys always seem to turn up and just get a crucial result. But what was the difference in this game compared to all the other past ones? Because I've been hearing so much things about this win that I want to get your guys' perspective on it.
What do you think, Ciaran?
In terms of what was different, I think it was the defensive shape. I think this is the best our defenses looked all season in terms of, we kept a clean sheet, but we really limited City's chances. I don't recall they had that many chances other than a corner in the first half. I think Nathan Ake had the header. But other than that, we were just so compact, so well organized. The back four, not a back three, the back four shifted really well throughout the whole game. They moved together as one. Lisandro Martinez, he pocketed Erling Haaland. Despite what Paul Scholes said, he did not throw him into the net. He pocketed him for 65, 70 minutes. Harry Maguire was great as well. His first game in 2 or 3 months, he was great against Haaland. He did really well. And the guy behind Isaac, Uncle Casemiro, he was a colossus. He was amazing. He was officially man of the match in that game. He looked like prime Casemiro. So really good defensively, amazing on the ball too with his passing, and just he showed Rodri how to play. There's all this hype about Rodri and how good he is, but Casemiro kind of showed him that he still got it. Unk still got it, that kind of meme. But yeah, I think it was the defensive shape was the most impressive. City, I know City were poor. They were fatigued from their midweek game, but we just shut them down. They couldn't do anything with the ball. Despite having 70% possession, they had nowhere to go.
Yeah, no, agreed. On the point about defense, I mean, there were still stats showing City had 100 more passes in the final third than United did, but they just couldn't get the ball inside the 18-yard box in the middle. Even if they had it by the side there, we just did not give up any space whatsoever. So shout out the back four. I mean, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Maguire, Dalot. I know Dalot on the offensive side, not the best games with some of the passing and some of the decision making, but still kept the shape really well to avoid any kind of dangerous through balls or anything that Haaland could potentially get a shot attempt at. And I think he only had 1, maybe 2 shot attempts. I remember one of them, Lisandro was quick to block it. So like there was nothing that came out of it. But yeah, no, like defense was great. And then let's also just talk about on the offensive side too, because Carrick for his first game for I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 practices that he had with the squad, he basically put all the players in their preferred and best position. So Bruno was back at the 10. You had Ahmad in right wing. Patrick Dorgu, who has been doing well with left wing back, decided to like put him forward, and he cooked. Instead of I guess the only selection that I was kind of surprised by was with Mbumo starting at striker instead of Sesko, given Sesko just scored like 3 goals in the last 2 games, but still understandable. Mbumo, the player he is, and how he was playing in the Prem previously, putting him there, and he didn't disappoint. Like he got the chance.
He's
got
a guy, man.
in the net.
The guy scored.
He's the man, bro. He's the man, and oh man, Bruno, just like what to say about that man? What to say? Some of the passing, some of the way this man like reads the game, and now that he's back at that 10 again in that advanced position that made him so special in the first place, and just like seeing him play there, I'm not gonna lie, I really missed it. I really missed it. So it was awesome to see, and also shout out to Kobe Mainoo as well. You got your first start. I believe the first start in Prem in general, and he seized his moment. Like he had some great moments. I mean, he like straight up juked Semenyo a couple times, and just there was like that calm composure look of like Kobe that I like remembered and seeing, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, kid's back. Has been rightfully frustrated for not getting some playing time, but still heads down, went to work and showed up, and that's all that matters, and at the end of the day, 2-0 realistically should have been 4-0, 5-0, which by the way, I was going to mention that third goal that was like taken off, we have yet to see like photographic evidence that wasn't offside, because all the refs said, oh, it's an offside, but never showed it to us. So whatever, pegmol, pugmol, pgmol, whatever you call them, like speak up, or did City give up another couple $1,000 million?
I wouldn't
with
be surprised if they did.
130 charges, and
It was the 116th charge now.
Yeah, 116th charge maybe. Yeah, and we just I don't know. I guess they just couldn't like take another 3-0 like whiffing, just like they gave us back in October. So I don't know.
Honestly, for what United fans were saying throughout the game and even the recaps, a lot of them said that should have been like a 5-0 decimation, because it was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, because I mean, in the second minute, you had Harry like hit the woodwork, and then Ahmad unfortunately hit it when I thought he had a clear shot and clear goal there. Right. And there were just like a couple more chances that Donnarumma like saved big. Like one of them was Casemiro's. That could have been our first goal, but either way, like it was just a complete domination, despite having like 30% of possession. But it was an excellent like defensive and also counterattacking football, kind of like a classic like Man United game and structure that is like that a lot of fans like remember very well.
Right. We're gonna get on to. I think there's 3 things that we can talk about from this game, right? I think from what I'll list off, we're gonna talk about. I think Bruno, number 1.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna mention a little bit about that Paul Scholes and Lisandro Martinez incident. Then the last thing I really want to talk about is this an overreaction of a win, or is this a bright spot? So I'm going to start off with Bruno. I'm gonna bring this stat up, right? And it's a little bit blurry, yes, but from what we can see right here is obviously Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne are like the top chance creators, right, in the league. I know it's blurry. I know. Sorry, guys. I think that says 502, 512. But the point here is Bruno Fernandes. I feel so sorry for him, right? And now I'm seeing the light as to why there's so many United fans that love this man. Because that, like you said, he played in his 10th spot, and we saw in the first 2 years that he was at United. This guy is a chance creator. I know I said early in the year they should have sold him. You know what? You can.
There's once upon a time, this guy, he scored 28 goals and 16 assists in a season.
He's amazing. He's
and that was
amazing.
Bruno Fernandes, and like let's sell the guy.
Yeah, I'm starting to think after just reading about his stats, the moments that he's been, the type of player that he is, the environment that he is. There should be the case that besides maybe De Bruyne and Rodri and any other midfielder you want to bring me, Declan Rice. Who else you want? I don't know. Who else you want to give me? Give me names. I don't know.
Well, what's the question?
Alistair.
Yeah, what is the question?
Is he the best midfielder in the Premier League of his
Yeah.
generation? Besides
Yeah.
De
Of
Bruyne,
his?
because De Bruyne is the
Oh,
god.
yeah, okay.
Oh,
I think I throw a Conte in there before I think I throw a Bruno.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
that's true. Conte was
that's
good.
fair. I just feel like
He's
if Bruno,
up there.
yeah, if like Man United were like in the winning positions and won a Champions League, a Premier League, or whatever, I think Bruno's name would have been up there. It's just
I
like
agree.
the lack of silverware is really what I guess kind of, I don't want to say underrated in that sense, but like he technically could be like one of the best or the best, but we can't
Yeah,
unfortunately give that title because the
Right.
lack of like major silverware.
Right. It's a
Yeah,
what if
there's-
question. Yeah.
Right.
That actually, what Aretha said kind of brought me to think about a point that I've been thinking about all day. I watched Isaac's clip last week where he talked about Justin Herbert and Cole Palmer, made that comparison. Of course, it's the NFL season. Or I should say it's the postseason. I watched the Bills lose last night. Josh Allen lost again. And I was thinking that Bruno kind of reminds me of Josh Allen. And I'll explain this. Now, let me explain this first.
Okay.
Bruno,
I'm
we
so
just said,
curious.
if he was on a better team the past 5 or 6 years, if he won more trophies, more European trophies, would be so much higher regarded throughout the world, I think. I think you could say the same thing about Josh Allen. If he was on a better team, had a better supporting cast over the past, 3 or 4 years, he would probably be higher regarded than what he is right now. And I also think that Bruno has just been carrying United. If it wasn't
Right.
for Bruno, we would be nowhere near where we are right now.
Right.
And I think
that's
Josh Allen is carrying the Bill. If it wasn't for Josh Allen, I don't know if the Bills would be like a playoff team.
I
So that's
agree.
where I see the comparisons.
I completely agree. And I'll add on to this point as to why I think he's the second best. The fact that this man is not only like in the same conversation in terms of chance creator with, because he might be the best chance creator in the world alongside, like even right now, of like a Lamine Yamal, of a Jude Bellingham that a lot of people rate like me, of who else that we can put even in the ranks
Pedri,
of
maybe.
like Pedri maybe, Olise, Musiala, all these type. He is right up there and leading the race, or leading as we saw in the stats with like Kevin De Bruyne. Like this guy is probably one of the best chance creators that we've seen in this league, and just historically as well in the Premier League. I mean, it's insane. It's insane the amount, and we got to put into consideration to the fact who's he had alongside him. He doesn't have, yeah, he had Ronaldo for 1 year, but that was just like 1 year. Yeah, he's had Cavani, but that was just for like 1 year, and that was even.
That also does work against him though as well, because he's also then in a system where he's forced to be the primary like chance creator.
That's
Not
true.
saying that a lot of those teams are like De Bruyne is that for City for a while, but he also had a lot of other players where like say you stick a De Bruyne in a United team where he has to be the sole provider for then 5 to 10 plus years, then how many chances created are we looking at for De Bruyne? De Bruyne is
That's
312. He might have even more. He might have less. We don't know. Again, we're dealing in hypotheticals.
It's a what if at
But-
that point. Correct. I completely agree. But I think for me, it's the fact that you have him in these situations where he has to be the main man, and defenses are going to be like, okay, we know that this man is going to be creating chances, so we have to be tight on him. We have to be very like, if we give him any type of space, any type of room, he's going to pick out a player, even if you don't think the pass is there, even if you don't think his winger in like Ahmad, or remember that, what was that one winger he had? I think it was a Swedish winger. I'm forgetting his name.
Elanga,
for
Anthony
example.
Elanga.
Anthony
Yeah.
Elanga. He's
Yeah.
had years where he had these type of players, and he's still feeding them the ball or figuring out or just trying to get something. And then obviously we're not even considering the fact that his first 2 years he was a goal scorer because he can take penalties and he can score goals from like outside or inside or make those runs inside the box. This guy, and that's why I hold my hand up and I say, my bad, Mr. Bruno Fernandes. My bad. The reason I wanted him sold was because I thought they were gonna move into a new year. And like you just kind of want to rebuild that system, but man, the fact that he's a leader, the fact that he's carried this sorry franchise, this sorry institution for like the last 3 years, you know what? I hold my hands up and say, you know what? You deserve any praise. You deserve a new contract and everything like that.
You know,
So
I'll
that's
go
where
back-
I am.
I'll go hot take here, Jeff. Maybe he might be we having discussions about where he ranks as like all time on midfielders. I think he might rank up there for one of the stupidest midfielders now that you're making me think about this. Because no offense, we're looking at those chances created. Sorry, Ciaran, sorry, Ritra, but then why'd you stick with United? Why did you stick? Then I'm starting to question. Then why are you there for so long? Then after those, if we're here, we're talking about all these years and continued years of success. Then I think I really put into question why he hadn't left. Because then we have to talk about these hypotheticals. He could have been this player. Now, as you just say, could have had the greats if he has a few more trophies, if he has few more opportunities to shine maybe on a brighter stage. How are we talking about Bruno Fernandes in the next 5-10 years, rest of our football discourse? I just think there's a lot of times where he could have jumped ship from United, and I think a lot of United fans would not have blamed him either. I think there's moments where he wasn't always at his best, so maybe it wouldn't have been always easier for him to leave as we're talking about it right now. But
Right.
I think I really question then him staying. And I mean, we want loyalty. That's something we often hold very highly just amongst ourselves on an individual level. So I can see why that would maybe prevail over a lot of other circumstances and situations. But
Right.
if I'm him, I'd have been out of there. Jokingly, I'd always seen him rumored with so many teams that I can't imagine one of
Yeah,
those.
I thought of him at Madrid.
I get what you're saying, but like I feel like with the exception of the last 2 seasons where we were really bad, like we've still finished like second a couple times with them, like third, fourth here and there. It's just last season it was 15, then the one before that 8th. Like that's what makes it really bad. So it's like we've always kind of competed. Now, yes, we weren't always like consistently good at Champions League or whatever, but I don't know. There's something about like this team and what could be added next year that could, kind of get us there. And
I think I've heard that. No offense, I've heard that. Ciaran said that
5, 6, 20 years. I get it. But at the same time, in the sense that why didn't Marco Reus not leave Dortmund earlier in his
I think
career?
he should have left. I mean, I know it's the same thing. It's loyalty, but he should not have stayed there as long as
Same thing with Totti with Roma. He could have been like. I mean, I know like we already like consider him as like a world-class player, but he could have also been like a Madrid player and won trophies there, Champions League there, whatever.
But if I remember,
And we offered him that contract too.
And that too.
Roma as well.
Huh?
Was he a Roma? Did he come up with Roma? Like, was he a Roma product? I know Royce was a Mönchengladbach and then went to Dortmund, but like,
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because like
there's also that. Like, Fernandes isn't also a part of this United where he came up and grew. He did join you. Like, there's not even that much of that built-in sort of loyalty that comes with like a youth, maybe even a youth academy product.
Sometimes you just like a team, a city, its players, its everything, and it's just worth it to like stay there, try to build there, and try to win there over like just like drop ship and go to like a Madrid, a Barca, Bayern, or whatever. And also just think about it. Hypothetically, had we won a Prem or a Champs, can you imagine the legend and the legacy of like Bruno, like with Man United in general?
Right.
I mean, you already have like legendary players like Zlatan or Schweinsteiger that has played with us, that still loves us. We love them back, but unfortunately, they couldn't win for us. But if he were to, I mean, dude, like he would. We're talking about like some Cantona level, some Beckham level, some like Dennis Law level. Hell, even with like Bobby Charlton, George Best level of like legend. Like this man could literally have.
He could have been
a statue in front of Old Trafford. Like, man, there's just sometimes that hypothetical glory that you just.
I completely agree. And you add on to the fact, again, going back to, and then not only that, and I agree with you, Isaac. I think maybe he could have left and you could have gone to a better team. But you have to remember also, too, he's with United. And United, as much as I know we but we criticize the fact that, I mean, we should start discriminating for how bad.
No. Do not clip that. Do not clip that.
Are we gonna get kicked out then? Am I gonna get kicked out from this job?
No, I'm talking about the owners, like just how bad they've been. But I'm just saying, like, how bad they've been, right? You like it's the hypothetical glory too. Even though they've been bad, they're still the United. Like it's still it's still United. Like they're a top 5 of the most popular, most biggest franchises and clubs in not only all of soccer, but in the whole sport of all sports, pretty much. Like they're with their like the Yankees, Madrid, all the Lakers, wherever you want to put. So I get that from that perspective too. Like, oh, like what if you could have like, you can be at United, you can be the United legend, and you top on that, like put the cherry on top. With this United team that's been bad for almost now 20 years, about to be 20, oh my God, the amount of he would be a god. Like he
Yeah.
would be a god. Like you went through that. You went through that misery, and you got us at least one prem against this City side, who are probably the most dominant team of like this generation, this era. Oh, he would have been beyond. I can't even imagine if you would have won at least. Like we're thinking about it right now. Like, dude, what if United just won out? Like they'll be gods. Like I'm being serious. Like this is.
Yeah.
But everyone brings up good points, and it's like who. What if he did went to another team, but what if he does win? It's. I think that's the conversation. Second one I want to talk about, Lisandro and Paul Scholes. I know we kind of talked about, but real quickly, man, dude, any of these United legends, we had a comment in one of our TikToks. Someone said they just be giving people podcasts or whatever to people. I thought
Everyone should have a podcast.
Richard, he got a random stray. He was like, "Who is this nobody?
Who is this random or something like that?"
Who is this random?" Which is so fucked up. I mean, oh my lord, jeez. But I will say, dude, they gotta take away take it away. Take that thing away from Paul Scholes, Rio Ferdinand. If you're gonna be a pundit, fair enough. But for Christ's sake, please don't be coming out with stupid stuff like that. At the end of the day, height doesn't. If you can just find a way to be a force to stop the height, you can accomplish some great things.
And not only that. Yeah, wait, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I said that to all my short friends when they went out to the bar here at school. So I think that, I don't know if that sentence really works. I feel like I heard that a lot of times. I don't know if the height always, I don't think that doesn't usually always work. Scholes might be on.
I've seen short guys pull, bro. I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying. It's possible.
No, it's possible. But, and we saw it. He completely locked down Holland. Who else was in there? Semenyo.
Joku.
Not only that, this man won 3 aerial duels over Holland, by the way. I'm just saying.
That's insane.
3 out of 3. And then there's obviously so many other things that he did well. Again, not a single inch of space was given to Holland. And that one opportunity that was given, Lisandro was there to block that shot. Nothing.
And every game that Martinez has played against Holland's only scored against him in one game.
Yeah, exactly.
Ajax and United, he's only scored against them once. So he's always played well against Holland.
And until that point, it's Robin, I was low-key thinking about this earlier. I think we might need to start doing a special segment every week where it's here's what the, I don't know, old man yelling at the sky version for Man United players. And on today's version of this episode, we got Paul Scholes with this dumbass comment saying how Holland could just pick him up and drop him off or whatever. To which Martinez after the game responded saying I don't care what he says, I don't have any problems. If he wants to say it, he could say it in my house. To which Scholes then basically kind of sarcastically replied saying job well done, but say something tea without sugar, please, something like that.
Right.
And it's just can you at least give this man an apology? Can you at least acknowledge that he had an immense performance like he always does? I'm starting to think Star Alex might actually be the greatest leader ever. Because if he had to deal with all those players, with all that, even if they showed it or not, that ego that they had and just that negativity around them, and somehow controlling all that into playing winning football, Jesus, bro, I can't imagine what it must have been internally to deal with that and still keeping that under control.
Right.
Because my lord, I mean Neville, Scholes, Roy Keane, here and there, just Jesus, dude. It's actually crazy. And you know what the crazy thing? Nicky Butt too. What are you talking about with the Michael Carrick thing? Seriously, what's wrong with you? I mean, you're literally. I don't think anybody knows you outside of Man United fans and maybe some Prem fans. I'm being dead ass right now. Yeah, I get it. You're class of '92. I get it. You're a champs winner. But Lord have mercy. Nicky Butt, more like Nicky S, bro. Shut the hell up.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. One more thing. Can I add one more thing?
Yeah,
sorry.
one more thing.
In that class of '92, there's this one guy that was ostracized by the public, by the English media, by everybody, because he had that ego, that good looks, that whatever.
Is that who I'm thinking?
Somehow that man has been the most classiest, most respectful and just absolutely, talks well and good about Man United, despite, the times that we've had. And we're talking about Mr. Sir David Beckham. Give that a second. The man with, all his fame and all that money and everything could have been, easily also, joined in and talk all that garbage. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He respects Man United. He respects, even the current team, too, and gives good context when he speaks about it and always, brings up the good times and the positivity. I don't know, man. Scholesy, Nikki, Roy, maybe, pull out a notebook, because I know you guys don't use an iPad or a phone because you guys are old-fashioned like that, and take some notes.
It makes me wonder if any of these United legends, the pundits, if they actually want what's best for the club, because they always are just speaking so negatively. And
exactly.
My best example is the 2 games Darren Fletcher was in charge of Burnley and Brighton. Gary Neville was silent. Wolves was silent. They didn't criticize Jack Fletcher or Darren Fletcher, their friend. When Ollie was manager, they didn't criticize him because he was their buddy. But they're happy to criticize Ten Hag. They love to criticize Amram, but they're silent when one of their friends is in charge of the club. And it's just a wider picture is you see Liverpool legends, Chelsea legends, City legends, Arsenal legends. Sure, there might be a Frank Lampard or a Jamie Carragher who are pundits, but even then, they're not piling negativity onto their teams. If they do speak, it's usually in a positive sense. And that's almost you don't want your pundit to be too biased where he's kissing ass and being too nice.
Right.
But they're not trying to be negative for the sake of it. They're going to show support for their team. So I feel these United pundits, they make the situation 10 times worse with what they say. If you're a young player I don't know, Shea Lacey or Akabi Mainu, and you look online, you see all this negativity, it's that's not going to help you at all. And I remember Paul Scholes when he was 16, he had that really bad asthma problem with his inhaler. You didn't see people make fun of him back then for that, did you?
Exactly. So, and he would get exactly. He would get bad headaches and everything. He had a lot of physical issues that he had to overcome to be the player he is. And dude, I'll defend that man to death, over Steven Gerrard, over Frank Lampard or whatever. Nah, Scholesy is the best midfielder. Roy Keane, the best captain. Gary Neville, the best right back in Prem. Nicky Butt, I don't even know how I can defend you, to be honest. So, you really shouldn't be talking.
He's the exception,
Exactly. But, all those other guys, as players, I'm defending them to death. But, my lord, that punditry, this comments, it needs to stop. Quit it. Guys, just quit it. It's already toxic. No need to make it more toxic. And you guys should understand this, but somehow you guys are, just going against it.
Yeah, my weird comparison for the day is it's kind of like Bonnie Blue and that whole weird scandal that she had involved with Bali. Yeah, weird switch, weird scandal. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do this here for your club, but I'm gonna have to compare United to kind of OnlyFans here in a little sense, where already a little bit of a toxic entity. You know what I mean? With the way things manage ownership, the way it matches your past couple of years, it's already a wishy-washy subject that maybe people don't like to get on the topic of. So you already have that sort of natural association with it. Then you bring in Bonnie Blue, what she's saying, these pundits. She wants to go over to her country, Bali, and sleep with a bunch of barely aged men. Of course, that's going to be controversial. Of course, it's going to put a lot of negative eyes. Of course, that negative discourse is only going to come up around your career, what you do, and the app that you work for. It's the same thing for these pundits. Of course, United is stuck in this constant state of negativity because all you do is you bring negativity. All you do is you stay and do stupid things, which is what these pundits are doing. And then all it does is end up affecting the career and other people that are working at the club. The club, those players, like you mentioned, that have to read that stuff in the news, maybe how they perform even on the pitch because of it. So all this outside stuff, all this stuff that you love to be a part of and you're alumni of and you believe in, you're going to do things that are going to detract and hurt that viewership and hurt those numbers. Really weird strategy, really weird comparison, but I think I'm started becoming known for that on the show, and that one just popped in the head. But yeah, there's your Manchester United and OnlyFans. There's your weird comparison for the day. But
I shouldn't be surprised by that. I shouldn't be surprised, honestly.
We shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't be. We know you.
I hope it made sense at least.
No, I mean it makes sense. No, it made sense. I mean, I see the comparison in there, but no, I think
I'm thinking of Robin for the edits, on Instagram. You know what I mean? There's some great images.
No, me too. I'm thinking about Robin. I'm thinking about how Robin's gonna be looking through this.
It's gonna be a hell of an episode to edit. Yeah.
We do not want to get sponsored by OnlyFans or anything like that.
But I take that sponsor.
But you know,
All
we
right.
do get sponsored by.
Okay.
No, we do
All
get
right.
sponsored by. We do
I
get
have a little. I can
sponsored.
take out my my notification tab. I can just put the OnlyFans sponsor right there.
Wow, dude, what-
No.
dude.
Instead, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just sponsor the Robin Stone. So as always, please, thank you, Robin, or should I say, AK Batman, for producing and editing all our episodes. But please, as always, to any of our listeners out there and fans as well, if you have a few, go out there and follow Stone Pictures as always for the great work that he's always doing and producing for our episodes. But now to go into kind of closing out the United segment, because I do want to. I think this was the main thing I kind of wanted to talk about before we kind of went into talking about Bonnie Blue and making that, I think, exceptional analogy.
Make that
with the United
sponsorship
States.
happen.
Yeah, we might get a sponsorship.
DMs
too.
are open.
Yes, absolutely. DMs are open.
DMs are open.
Oh my God, we're gonna go out on loan to OnlyFans. That's gonna be the next episode. But the United way. I think after that United win, gentlemen, we heard a lot from the fan base. And I'm mainly talking about the Amarin out fans who, you know, they're like excited. They're ecstatic after this win, I would assume, because, you know, they got what they wanted. A 4-back, a dominant win, a positive win, good vibes. Obviously Amarin's out, so that's already just a positive for these guys. But are we overreacting with this win? Because I have heard so many United fans. Yes, this is the United way. We've won. This is the attacking football, and we beat Manchester City. And I agree. That's really good. We're happy for them. Right? We're all happy for them, right? I'm happy that we won. I'm happy that Doc woke up early and, you know, he got the nice win. I'm happy with the same thing for Eritrea as well. For me, yes, I'm happy that my friends are happy. That's just who I am. I'm happy that United won. But I'm just getting to the point where I think we're overreacting, guys. I think we need to calm down for a bit, and just let's hold our horses now. Hold our
what?
Horses.
Our hoses.
Did I say hoses?
Yeah, you did say hoses.
My allergies.
Nah, it's okay. It's the allergies. It's the allergies, fellas.
It's allergies. Come on. Are we overreacting? Because we've seen this so many times now, where the most infamous one was the one where it was, I think, back in 2019, where you guys were like a goal down to, or 2 goals down to PSG in what I believe was the round of 16. And it was during the time where Ole got in there.
That night in Paris,
the Rashford 2 goals, the Rashford penalty. And then it's just a common trend where they got that win, get Ole the contract, and what happened after that? Same thing. The players went.
Ole finished second the year after that?
No. But then what happened the next year? No. What happened the next year, though?
I mean, that was Glazers pulling a Glazers.
Right. My point is, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're overreacting here, and we need to hold everything down because we've seen this happen time and time again. Are you in agreement or are you disagreeing with me?
See, the thing is, Jeffrey,
I 100% agree.
Kieran agrees. Okay. I say we give Michael Carrick a 10-year contract for the next 10 years and play the football that we just played, and we're going to win the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Super Cup, the World Cup, the AFCON, everything.
Not the MLS Cup, though.
Yeah, even the MLS Cup, because, you know, screw like LAFC,
put the Super Bowl in there. Why not?
Yeah, put the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup, the World Series,
the Grammys,
the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys, dude, everything. The Nobel Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize, hell yeah, everything. So, yeah.
And you know what's funny? I wouldn't be surprised if there's a United fan that sounds just like you saying exactly what you're saying. Give the man a 3-year contract. Because that's what I've been hearing.
I said 10 years, but okay.
Yeah.
He'll be the next Sir Alex Ferguson and Sir Matt Buttsby, you know?
All I'm saying is, please, don't give that man a contract just yet. You guys said almost we, like I'm a United fan, but I'm at this point I have to.
One of us.
I might have
Join the dark side, Jeff. Come with it.
No. I just better not see. I better not see Michael Carrick. Just hold on. Like, please, the United fans, don't overreact. Listen, don't do this. You
Look.
do this every single time,
Look.
and it's just
Look.
infuriating to me.
Look.
Don't do this. We can
Look.
talk about the performance.
Yeah,
we can
that
talk
was
about,
Listen.
but don't do it. Don't
Listen.
give that man a contract just yet. Let's
What?
wait.
What?
Hold on.
No,
Let me
no,
finish
no.
my point. Let me finish my point. Just
Okay.
don't do it. Don't
Okay.
do it.
All
Because
right.
I've heard too many of this fan base talk about how
Yeah.
that win was so amazing, how
Uh-huh.
we're back. That I heard this is the United way. The
Uh-huh.
United way is to win, goddammit. Win the damn
Yeah,
thing.
and we
It's
win.
one
God damn
game.
it, we
It's
had a
not
clean
the problem.
sheet.
The problem why we wanted Amarin to stay, right? Because I'm Amarin in. I'm not going to be fooled by this. Because next week, I want to see them perform. I want to see in 2 years how they look. Not after
Yeah.
this one game against City. And by the way, to all these United fans, right? I don't know why I'm getting it just makes me so mad that you guys haven't learned from your mistakes as a fan
Yeah.
base. Why are we saying the United way? This is the Michael like we gotta get this is the Michael Carrick show. Have you not learned from your mistakes? How about you go win a damn Prem? How about you go win the damn FA Cup next year? And then let's keep that manager for next 5 years, because what's gonna happen, right? What's gonna happen, right, is they're gonna give that man the contract. They're gonna go on a crazy Hollywood run, just like Eric Ten Hag, just like all of them, and then they're gonna fuck up this roster, and then they're gonna get rid of everyone. And then we're going to start the cycle again, and then they're going to beat City like they always do, because I always said they turn up against City. And then the cycle repeats for like the next 10 years.
Right.
So I need them to just – I need to relax too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad.
No, I love the passion. I love the passion. You're already halfway there in being a United fan. That's what we need. We love seeing a passionate man that loves his club to death. We need that. We need more of that. Now, and seriousness, like, yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, we had this conversation once about like modern football fans, and whenever something good happens, it gets overhyped. Whenever something bad happens, it gets criticized to oblivion. So you can't. It's really hard to find that middle ground. And obviously, the ones with the most extreme takes will have the loudest voice, and will spread it across all forms of social media. Now, the conversation about Carrick and him being the one, well, you could like have whatever opinions you have, but I'm on the same boat as well. Like, let's see what he does against Arsenal, which will be challenging, and not just Arsenal, but till the rest of the season. If he were to hypothetically win the next 17 Premier League games in a row that's available for Man United, then yeah, I think he should be rewarded with a contract. If he does mid, I don't know. I guess it's up to like Ineos and whoever. Which, by the way, 2028. I still didn't forget. And if he does garbage, then like, yeah, he needs to be replaced. So this thing about like the United way, and bro, first of all, we don't play with like 30% possession. Like, that's not exactly us. Like, we still also like to play some possession ball, except possession ball with some good offensive movements, and sometimes obviously a good kind of with a good transition and counter-attacking, which we did see, and that's where we scored. So that was great to see, but not quite the United way yet, at least like what we saw against City. And the last thing about Carrick, I mean, man has managed 4 games, them being against the coaches of Pep Guardiola, Thomas Tuchel, Unai Emery, and Mikel Arteta. That he's won against all except for, I think it was that Aston Villa game with Unai Emery that he tied, but I could be wrong. So yeah, he's to lose a Premier League game. So as small as that sample size may be, maybe he's the man, maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, we have to like wait and see what happens. Until then, I will enjoy this win because it was awesome. It was worth waking up at 7:30 in the morning to get excited, to get energetic. Yeah, I was so excited and energetic that I fell asleep for another 3 hours after that win. So, I guess we just wait and see next Sunday.
Yeah, Dom,
I was going to say, like, just remember his name, his title is interim head coach, which means temporary head coach. There's a reason why he's a temporary head coach. And there's this guy named Ralph Ragnick. He used to be our interim head coach. He won his first, I think, 2 or 3 games when he was in charge of us. We thought he was a great coach. We thought he was going to fix everything. We finished 6th that year. We lost to Liverpool. We lost to City. So just because you start well with an interim coach, it doesn't always mean it's going to end well with that interim coach. Yeah. And above all, I think we just should be looking, no offense to Carrick, at bigger, better coaches. If we're being honest, I think we need someone with a lot more experience than what we have with Carrick. But I am going to be like a little open-minded and say that if you are going to judge Carrick, wait till the end of the season. Don't do it off of one really good game, because we did that
but
with
Doc, it's
PSG
the
away.
United way, Doc. That's what they tell me. It's the
Let me ask you,
United way.
let me ask you, what is the United way? Like, what's
I don't
attacking?
know.
Because those are so many cliches, so many generalities. Like, what do they mean? I don't know what the
What do
United
they
way
mean?
is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying too.
Like, you're just chasing a ghost turn to this point when you say the or attacking football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I don't know. Like, there's no like Madrid way. There's no like Arsenal way. There's no
Actually, no.
Chelsea way.
There is an Arsenal way.
Okay,
It's called
yeah,
corners
but
and
like
free kicks.
Corner FC. They're
no,
corner
you
FC.
Corner
know,
FC.
like the best teams in the world aren't saying, "Oh, we need to play like we did 20, 30 years ago. We have to do what we did then." These teams modernize and they adapt. Like, obviously, Barcelona still want to play really good football, but they're not doing tiki taka right now, are they? No, they're doing what works with them under Flick. Or you look at Bayern Munich. They used to always have the best coaches in the world. They took a gamble and got Vincent Company from Burnley, and now look at them. They're probably the best team in the world. So sometimes you have to cherish the memories, cherish the past, but move on from it and do something else.
Or
So-
just
Some reason.
take some inspirations, but don't let it just
Yeah,
be your.
yeah.
Don't let it define you. Be
Yeah, if
beyond
you're
that.
using like arguably the worst City team we've seen in the past 5 to 6
too.
so odd years, which they also had to be playing like after playing that same week as well. They had a midweek game, like a tired City team, and then you only beat them 2-0. Like, if that's your like, oh my God, we're so back, this is United, we're here. Like, you're already gone as a football fan, regardless. There's not much we can say or do to like help you. Like, you need like an IQ test and need to go back to school. Like, if that's what you're saying after that result. Like, you know what I mean? You even if just wait a week, you guys have Arsenal in your next Prem game, correct?
Yeah.
Arsenal, who will also
that's
be
our
playing
next
Inter
game.
Milan in the Champions League on Tuesday of that week as well. So then there you go. Like, give me a week. You beat Man City, then you beat an Arsenal team, even if they are a little bit weak. Okay, Carrick, I'll start paying attention. I'll keep an eye on you for the rest of the season. Okay, let's see how the season finishes out. To Kieran's point, like, you got to give this time.
Yeah.
And we saw it with Ragnick, as you said exactly. He won first 2 games,
Right.
and then where it
Yeah.
went on from
Yeah.
there, like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arsenal, I don't know. Do you play Leeds at all the rest of this year? You could lose to Leeds in a month. And we'll be talking about how Carrick could be one of the worst United managers we've seen in the past 10 years. Like, I can picture that sentence. I can picture Mark Goldbridge, like opening up and just seeing that on YouTube one day. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
who knows? And who even knows where this discourse is going to be in even a week or so? Who knows? You could lose 6-0 to Arsenal. You could beat Arsenal 5-0, and then Carrick is the best manager of all time. Who knows?
Yeah, look, the reason why I feel like the fan base is the way the fan base is because one, it is like one of the biggest fan base, and when you have fan base like that, you will have casuals that will make like outlandish comments like that. 2, it could also be the fact that we're just looking for some good times, and when we have the good present times, we want the good future times as well. So if that happens with Carrick, so be it. Like, this man was a very, very underrated midfielder back in his playing days, but an absolute world-class player, and won the Champions League, won the FA Cups, the Prems, whatever it is that a footballer can win, he won it all. But yet he was still like underestimated and like just hella underrated. With, the thing that he did with Middlesbrough, where they were like a position away from like relegation in the championship, to bring them into 4th or 5th place, have them play in the championship playoff. And unfortunately he fell short, but just like that work that he did with Middlesbrough, low-key gives me hope that he could maybe do something like that with United. And given this man was also once a United player not too long ago, I know with Ole, it was like almost 20 years ago when he like came back when he was a player. But with Carrick, I mean, he was playing back in like 2015, 2016 as well, and still like stuck around like recently as well with like other roles, other coaches. So I don't know. Maybe he could be the man to figure it out. And if he does, it'd be lovely to see. And I just want to have a good time. I just want this man to succeed. Whoever comes to us to succeed. So yeah, I'll be calm.
I want the club to succeed. I would love to see Michael Carrick succeed. But here's my thing. And I'll end it off with this for this term. And thank you guys again for listening to me ramble about a team that isn't even my main team. Look, all I'm saying is I'm going to wait and see what the club does. What you damn Glazers, I want to see what you're going to do to support the next manager, or maybe Michael Carrick if he is proven in the next few months, and these damn players. That manager bounce, I'll be waiting. I want to see if that was just a manager bounce, or is it because you've been misused? But I'm going to wait and see patiently. I'm going to wait and see.
Sounds good to me.
I do not I do not want this repeat again. And if it is, I need to see Eritrea. I need to see Ciaran, and shoot, I'll do it. I'll go to Old Trafford if it's the same thing in the next year or two, and we're gonna go protest.
Hell yeah.
And we're gonna go boo. And
Hell
we're gonna
yeah.
go do this. I'll do this for
And
the
we're
sake
gonna-
of football.
And we're gonna throw bottles and get an AK-47. Okay, no, I'm not going there. That's some American way. We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going. I don't want to get permaban from YouTube. I apologize, Robin. You can cut that out. That sentence never came out of my mouth.
No, I think we're gonna keep it.
All right.
No.
Okay.
But now we're going to transition into a little bit of AFCON, right? Speaking of, just players and legacies and clubs and institutions and all that. Sadio Mane, man, congrats to you, man. Sadio Mane and Senegal, congrats to you. 1-0 win over Morocco, who I thought were going to win it. I thought they were going to win the whole thing with the amount of players that they have, the run that they had back in 2022, the amount of talent that they have as well. Surrounding that group. This is probably their golden generation. Well, I think Senegal are just right about to end their golden generation of footballers in that team. But, they won their second.
At their home stadium as well.
At their home
stadium.
and I forgot about that too.
Hosted
At
that
their
tournament.
home ground. At their home ground. Man, like Sadio Mane's legacy is so mad. Like it's like gotten even. It's gotten from here to where like, oh yeah, he's to now here. He's a god, man. To win 2 AFCON titles for his nation in Senegal, two of them, the only 2 I believe in their history, and I think he's 2-time African Player of the tournament as well. I don't know if he won the tournament this year because I haven't been following too much with AFCON. Besides,
yeah, he did Player of the tournament this year.
Did he win Player of the
Oh,
tournament?
wow.
Yeah,
I think that's his second or
3
third
times.
one that he's won.
Yeah.
Man, dude, it brings up the interesting conversation. Who's the better African footballer, like Sadio Mane or
Didier Drogba?
Mohamed Salah?
Oh.
Because both have been crucial in the Premier League. No, I do think that Salah did have the better Prem career, obviously. But, man, for Africa, when you look at the 2 careers that they've had, especially for their national team, if we're going to do this for a lot of players, why can't we do this with both of these players? Because you just look at the impact that Mane has had. And then while for Salah, he just hasn't been able to deliver the goal for them. I don't know. I think after this win for me, especially at the age that Mane is, it's there, man. Like, I don't know.
Where are they all time for you? I mean, for in African football, the rankings.
I think number 1 is George Weah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1 is definitely
he's
George Weah.
he's
You
still
saw
the
the
only one to
Ballon
win
d'Or
a
winner that he is, and then obviously outside of the sport, I mean, he's done so
He's
much.
the president of.
He's
I
a
forget
damn
which country.
president of a nation.
Yeah.
Liberia, I believe.
You might have to
I
put
think so.
Yaya in there because I think he's one of few.
Okay.
And then really what's difficult for Salah is just the fact that he hasn't won one. And I don't know. I think he ranks. I think Mane, after this he ranks in terms of legends. I think he ranks higher. I don't know. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think
Player wise, I still think Salah's better than Mane, but you're right. Like impact, achievements.
The 2 titles I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of AFCON type of I'm not gonna come out and say that. But for me, I'm gonna compare it to 2. Like if let's say South America, there's 2. Like you have, I don't know. Let's do Lissandro Martinez, and you have this Peruvian guy, right? And this let's say Zambrano, for example. Let's say Marcus Zambrano from Peru. And they both played in the Prem, both played together. Like there's debates about whether he was better. But then it's like he wins them with 2 national because he's won 2 national titles for Peru, which is insane. While this guy who plays for Argentina, he hasn't won shit. And he's played for the Argentina. So it's like the impact, like the scale of impact to do that for your nation is just for me insane. And for me,
Martinez won a World Cup though.
No, I'm just comparing. Like, what if he didn't win the World
Oh,
Cup?
he didn't. Oh, okay.
Like, what if he didn't win for Argentina? And then you have this Peruvian guy who's never won a Copa America, and he wins 2 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I just look at it, and I think Mane just ranks him. I think after this, I think Mane ranks him. For
This
me,
is even a small one. I could be wrong. I
think Premier League without question Salah. But I think
Yeah.
in terms of what it's done for Africa, the impact that they're gonna have, I think Sadio Mane. Just I don't know. And Sadio Mane has 2 Prem titles too to his name, and statistically, he's not even No, go
No, I'm
ahead.
saying, didn't he break out first for that Liverpool squad as well? I could be wrong.
He was there before Liverpool.
So,
yeah,
like,
he joined the year before them. Yeah.
There's even I'd be interested in like the Liverpool like hierarchy and asking Liverpool fans who they'd hold up as more important. I think they're 1 and 2. I mean, they're probably on an equal level, but that's even
Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
Best player in the world. Yeah.
The best player. I mean, there was a reason why he said that. Sadio Mane.
He was right. That guy must be like a
serious.
millionaire by now.
Oh,
He must be like the happiest person in the world.
I'm serious right now.
No, but
I love
think
the
that's
Scouts,
great.
man.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I deluded? Am I stupid for even saying that? I just think for me as the African player, in terms of when you put everything together, even top wise, like I don't know, man. I think Sadio Mane is getting in there, man. I think to win those 2 AFCON titles, that's just insane to me. And while Salah hasn't, like you know how people were saying about Messi, like that's how I look at it. Like you can't even do that for your national team. You couldn't win it for Egypt, who has like 7. You couldn't get one, and he's beaten you. He's outplayed you in all of them, and you couldn't get one. You're telling me you couldn't get one? And then you bring the fact of how poor he's been this year, and the systems and stuff. Well, Sadio Mane for Liverpool, he sacrificed so many times. He went from left wing to striker a few times and move in, and you can't do that. I don't know. That's a hot take. Call me crazy. That's okay. I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I? I don't know.
I think as like I like what Aritro said. Like as a player or club career, I go with Salah. I think he might be the better player. But I think for Africa, in terms of the impact on the continent, I think it is Mane. The 2 titles, you can't ignore that. I do sympathize with Salah a little bit. I don't think his national teams have been as strong as what Mane's had. But I don't know if that's a fair comparison. But yeah, I think this kind of solidified Mane. Like the second AFCON, I think solidified him above Salah. The fact that he beat Salah too the first time, I think.
That's what I'm saying. It's the fact that you beat him. You outplayed him.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying because his team won. No. You outplayed him. So that for me, I take that into consideration when I've seen players who played with worse and they were amazing. It's not like Salah was amazing these last few games. He wasn't. He hasn't been great. And Mane's like scoring crucial goals. He's dribbling. He won the damn player of the tournament. He's got 2, and he's beat you in the World Cup qualifiers as well. So that's like 3 times he's beat you. He's took your chain, like that, as they like to say, and slay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be wrong, but I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. Isaac, do you have anything or no?
No, I'm saying right now. I mean, yeah, I'd probably agree with the pastor just said, but. I mean, we got a World Cup coming up in 2026, and both I think are going to be in it, Senegal and Egypt. So I think we can have this exact same conversation in 3 to 4 months. And if Salah takes Egypt to a nice little even quarterfinals, even a round of 16 run and gets through a tough group and all that sort of stuff, like we'd be having a completely different conversation. Because I think I'd still take the World Cup over an AFCON. But again, you can't dispute what he's done in AFCON, especially like you said, beating him as well.
I really can't. I can't just look at the fact that he's won like one of their. Like they're only 2, and he's outplayed, and he's a Liverpool legend, and he's a Premier League legend, and he's one.
Both are Liverpool legends. Both are Premier League legends.
Both are, but I'm adding to the fact that he's. I wouldn't say he's just as good as Salah in terms of being a legend, but I think he's right up there, man. I just wish he would have had a longer longevity and more trust, but his downfall was kind of bad when he went to Liverpool. I'm not gonna dispute that. But I think for me, those 2 AFCON are just amazing. And it just kind of brings up the point now with Senegal and Egypt. I know Egypt, I don't know. I forgot who's in their group, but I know for Senegal, I know they have that group with France, Norway, and who's the other one? I'm blanking right now. It's Senegal, France, Norway, and I could probably take a look at it right now. But that group is not going to be – it's going to become so interesting. It's to be determined. I think it's one of the other qualifying teams that still have to do the playoffs, I think, in March. But – that group is going to be so interesting, man. Because that is now, for me, the group of death. That is the AFCON winners with France and Norway.
I could be a casual. I don't know, like, other than Odegaard, Haaland, and Sortgard, I think. Like, who else is in that Norwegian squad?
No, but like, Norway have been so good in the qualifiers. They're, like, one of the top teams. Like, they've beaten, like, Italy and stuff. And I think in both games.
I mean, bro, Italy's, like, hella
so
beatable when it comes to these qualifiers.
Egypt is with Belgium, Iran, and New Zealand, by the way, too, as well, for the World Cup.
That's not a
Like,
bad group.
Again, this
There's
is
a
where
chance.
legend. I don't want to sound cringy or corny when I say this, but I mean, I literally seen Messi do this, where he's had to drag just teams through. I need Salah to do that for this World Cup. Like, you need. I think that's beatable. You're probably on paper you should be the best player on that around that group, right? Like, I know, like, maybe Courtois is in there, and I'm blanking Perry. There's other Belgian players on there, but like
Ooh,
on
hot take. We take
paper,
Trossard over right now. No, I'm joking, but I don't know.
I mean,
There's
with the
trust
form,
issues.
you can make that debate. I mean, with the form, you can make that debate.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I just want Salah to have this crazy run. Like, you need to have a crazy run with it. Like, you need to actually, like, give it all. Like, you're about to end your career. You're like 34, 35. I know you probably don't have that much, but can you, literally, like the meme says, can you give me one more tournament? Can you give me one more just a month of excellence to take your team? I need like 2 goals. I need you to beat your man. I need you to just find out ways to just break a team down while not being the stagnant player that you are. Figure it out, man, and go out and carry your team. You can do it.
I don't know. If he couldn't do it in AFCON, how's he going to do it against the best of the world, though? That's my fear.
Here's my little thought with that. Temperature differences. I think being able to turn coming from a climate which you're much used to, like playing in like a higher, temperature, whatever. I'm blanking on other weather terms right now. I'm sorry. You can tell this is not my area of expertise, but you're gonna playing in the United States. I think is gonna be a big ask for a lot of players. I think for a lot of European teams as well. I think that's something that you've been seeing them having to hold camp and training, especially with Club World Cup, realizing like the difficulty with that. So I think that might be a little sneaky area where some of those countries, especially those African countries, where you're playing in maybe just warmer climates and you're used to it, or maybe more dry areas or dry climates, that you might have that advantage coming over to the U.S. or Mexico or Canada, wherever you're playing, and you're just more fit.
Right. I completely agree. I think that the environment's going to be a factor, but I think the environment. I'm just so curious to see how. Like, I'm very excited to see how that's going to really affect a lot of teams and players. I think when you mentioned that, because it's going to benefit a lot of teams. But like, how bad is the impact going to be? Like, is it going to be that bad, or are people actually like going to figure things out? Like, I'm going to be so curious as well to see like what equipment they're going to bring, because I was just watching the Bears and Rams game. I know they're going on right now, but you hear like the Rams, like, we have to bring in like millions of dollars of like heating equipment and stuff like that. Like, what are these teams going to bring? Do they have enough technology to even bring this stuff to like counteract the heat and all that stuff? I'm just curious to see how people react to that. But like,
you're in the benefit of being in a lot of NFL stadiums. So a lot of those stadiums, like as you mentioned with the Rams and the Bears, they're already equipped to kind of handle those weather, or at least to handle that equipment. So I think there'll be a bit of that. But yeah, it'll still be interesting. I don't know, like just what that toll's going to take on the body. I think aren't they doing the forced breaks, or like whatever the hydration breaks? Aren't
the
they?
hydration break.
Probably, yeah.
They're going to be set. So like I think you're going to have that, because if you're playing in Miami in what is it, July?
Oh my God, LA.
It's going to be 100.
That'd be
Houston too. Oh God.
Right, Houston. Like how are you? If you're playing the U.S. and then you're playing a bunch of U.S. team that's used to playing in Houston or a Dallas or a California or a Miami, and then you have to play them coming over from like a Switzerland or something like that, or whatever it is. Like, how are you? Are you not like what the heck?
And that should be the advantage there for Egypt too, because I know they're in a very like, it's a hot condition as well. Like, I know Egypt is like very like warm area, so it's like I'm hoping. So there's more stuff where like I'm like, Salah, this is your condition. Like, please, bro. Like, dude, come on. Like, you have to do this, man. I can't. I like you, man. Not like that, but like, come on. But I think that's gonna be it for AFCON. I think
really
Senegal,
that's it.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about the controversy, huh? What's the controversy?
Oh, it's here for we're here for the controversies.
Yeah, bro.
What you got?
You know, so we're talking about like how Carrick could lead United to like, you know, the Prem, Champs, World Series, whatever. But we also mentioned the trophy called the Oscars. I think Brahim Diaz might be a leading contender for that, along with the whole Moroccan national team. Because my word, what the hell was that? What? Like, okay, I mean, let's get to the first part. That penalty that was awarded, which obviously initially it wasn't, but then with VAR ruling it, they gave it. It was essentially like a little pull, but Brahim did all he could to fall down. Penalty was given. What did you guys think? Penalty or no penalty?
I don't know. I've seen those given before, though. That's the thing. It's not the first time I've seen that kind of
Yeah.
penalty.
I
That's
just thought it was so soft.
I
I
think
just
penalties like that are just so frustrating because, like I think Kieran said, like they're called every time. Because when it's like, I think when it's outside like the camp, like outside the box, I think
Yeah.
it rarely gets called. Like I know people say it the otherwise, but I think it rarely gets called. But I
Yeah.
think when it's inside those areas, I mean, again, also you probably, I think because it was like a dry game too. Because I mean, no offense, like the quality of football you're gonna be watching in AFCON, especially in the final two where everything's gonna be tight. Everyone's gonna be so focused and locked into just play defense and then just go and attack. I think that also kind of like, okay, let's like we need to get a goal here, man. Like let's make this entertaining. I think that's my conspiracy theory. If you want to talk about conspiracies and all that, but
Yeah.
I think maybe that it's like, okay, we need something. You know, now if it was a high scoring game and like so maybe it doesn't. I think also two referees, like it just depends on the personnel too. I mean, I've seen so many times where Vinny gets fouled inside the box, doesn't get called a penalty, and then I see another player do the same thing, but he gets the penalty. But we also know why Vinny doesn't get those calls is because of his personality, the way he talks to referees, the way he's like, the way he's his reputation as well. So that's probably the other thing too. Like they probably saw Brahim fall that easy. All right, you know, boom.
Yeah, could be.
And that's what the decision
Potentially.
he made.
But
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like for a final in the dying minutes, like because I don't think that's getting called in the Prem realistically.
Yeah, but that's the prem. That's the prem.
But it's
I
not
think
the
in
rim,
AFCON,
though. That's
that's
the thing.
That's the prem. That's the other thing too. It's
Yeah.
like I've seen so many calls be given in the prem where I'm like, dude, that would have been given in LaLiga or like
Yeah.
vice versa. You know, like stuff like that. Like that's a red card. That's not a red card. I think it comes down to the point poor refereeing at times or just inconsistency, which is why VAR is there. I'm not even going to get into debates with VARs because that's what VAR is there for. So to stop these inconsistencies and be quick and efficient with your decisions, but they just haven't figured that out for like the last 7 years that this thing has been invented. Like they can't figure this out. The idea of it should be effective and efficient, but it's just not. We're not at that stage yet. And I don't know when it ever will be.
Yeah. Well, you know, that happens. It gets awarded. And we're talking about like just the legacy of Sadio Mane too, and him being the first one to eventually just like bring the players back onto the field after, you know, like they were all like rightfully very disappointed and frustrated and just like, you know, they didn't want to deal with it anymore. And they just wanted to just give up and give the win to Morocco. But Sadio, the leader that he is, stayed on the field the whole time. The man that he is, brought them all back, and faced it as like, okay, if we're gonna go down, we're gonna go down with dignity, with respect, get that penalty, you know, let that happen. And looks like all the luck and good karma was on their side because Brahim, man, what the hell was that? Well, like, what did you guys think about that? Just yeah.
I don't know.
Talk about that Panenka.
I don't remember the Brahim thing. Do you guys want to talk about that Brahim thing?
Oh no, I'm talking about the penalty because he was the one that took the penalty afterwards. After he was the one that, you know, got fouled, and basically he tried to do a Panenka, I guess like a Zidane style, and you know, Mendy, once City's goalkeeper, was not falling for that.
Try to Panenka. I mean, I guess I think what I've liked about goalkeeping and stuff, right, is it's all mental games. It's fun. I'm gonna make a stupid analogy, but it's like what was it that we were playing? Like I was playing a game, and it was like a card game where I have to like read and predict. Like I have to counteract like what I think my opposition's gonna do. And like it's like you gotta like play it out and say, okay, if I go this, he knows I'm gonna go this way, so it'll be too obvious if I go that way. So let me stay on that side because I think he knows. So it's like stuff like that. I remember Madrid, like when we went with that penalty shootout with City, I know Bernardo Silva got shit on for that Panenka attempt that he did. But I mean, what can you do when like, you know, what Madrid cleverly did was they had Kepa at that time, right? Who was helping out the goalkeeping coach and giving advice to the players. And it was like, oh, you know that he might go middle. Like, he's going to go middle. Like, I've studied this guy. Like, we've been teammates before. So you just stay in the middle because you know. So it's like stuff like that where, like, you don't know. Like, you just have to think and counteract. Because Brahim might know, okay, Mendy knows I might go middle. Or there was a teammate, maybe Hakimi. Or, like, you know, it's like stuff like that where you just have to make the right call and the right prediction. I think penalties, you have to have the skill to them, I think. Like, how much power you put when you shoot on the specific side, which way you're going to shoot it, which angle. But I think for here, like, and even where you're gonna put it, but at the same time, it's like you can't predict if the keeper knows you're gonna go right because who knows? He might. It's all mental game, It's all mental game. We can criticize the technique and how much power, but I think for me, it's gonna come down to I think just luck as well. Like, did you call it? Did you predict it?
Yeah.
Did you put did you put a right hand on it too?
Yeah,
So,
that's fair. Because I was thinking, I was like, man, like technically, hypothetically speaking, if Mendy were to, fully commit to a side and dive there and the ball goes in, it's like when it goes in, it looks cold. It's like cool. It's awesome. It's like ballsy. But when it doesn't, it just looks so dumb.
It's a risk. It's a risk that you have to take.
Just the whole situation that happened 10, 15 minutes ago, there's just a foul that was committed to get that penalty. And usually it's like either En-Nesyri or maybe even Hakimi that are like the main penalty takers, but they trusted you to take it. And you couldn't deliver whatever method or whatever it is that you were thinking of doing it. And yeah, man, it's gonna be tough for him to just recover from that, because eventually Senegal does end up going to extra time, and the 94th minute they score a goal and they end up winning the AFCON, and it's just like, dang, now you gotta go back to Madrid where it's also high pressure, and Madrid with just like the situation that's been going, you lost your head coach in that month that you were gone. And also lost out in the Copa del Rey as well as the Super Copa to Barcelona. It's just like, dang.
Do you think Mbappe gives Brahim Diaz the next penalty as like a little football respect moment? Gives him like a redemption moment?
Oh my God, no!
There's a better chance he brings this.
Well, I guess that can head on to before we talk about, because honestly that's a perfect transition into our next segment. But before I get on to that, as always, please subscribe and follow our YouTube account and TikTok account. Like, share, comment. Please leave your interesting comments insulting our cast. We love it. We laugh at them every time, and just keep on supporting keep on supporting the Out and Long podcast as always. But you mentioned Brahim, and I feel sorry for him. I agree. I mean, you missed that penalty. You let down a nation like that. You broke the hearts of many people, and probably made a lot of people happy too. And
probably burning your jerseys and your face right now.
Yeah, they probably be like, you're fake. You're not real Moroccan.
The streets of Casablanca, being born in Spain.
So he's going from that.
Yeah.
He's going from that to now going to the other place where back home at Madrid, which I mean, I didn't get the chance to really make a video on the whole Xabi Alonso thing. I think my opinion on it. I don't even think it's just necessary to say, I think the sacking was wrong. It's ridiculous. It's insane. It's stupid. It's overreactive, and it's a cultural problem that I'm hoping to see doesn't become a cancer. It's like a tumor that keeps on growing, a cell that is going to affect us in like the next 5 years. Where we have this stigma that we need to sack our managers and we need to give these players all these powers. And I'm happy that the fan base finally booed, because you know what? I wasn't going to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch a Real Madrid versus Levante home game. It's notorious to be a guaranteed drop of points, a guaranteed poor performance because of the early schedule and all that type of fun stuff that we like to get into when we play early games. But what I was excited for was the reception that these players are going to get.
Jesus, dude.
I don't know if you guys had the chance to watch that, but that was bad.
Dude,
bad for the players. But for me, the fan that has been very critical of these players, and I love these players, but it's got to be a point where you have to be critical. You have to look at self-reflection and be like, you know what? You can't be doing this type of bullshit. I'm sorry. It's bullshit what happened to Xabi Alonso. It's complete fucking bullshit. And I can use that word because thank you, Danny Wilkins. I got to use explicit words to show my emotion and the moment that all Madrid fans have been going through the last week. Because you lose a final, we can agree to disagree whether Xabi got it wrong. Who cares, right? The lack of basic respect that these players had for this manager is just insane. The lack of ego, the lack of arrogance. And you know what? I am so happy that they finally got a taste of medicine, because then they not only did they not fail on Saturday, fail the manager, right? Because the performance was just awful. You go on and made it even worse by losing to a second division relegation team in the Copa del Rey, and you get knocked out again. Where you had 3 to 4 veterans out there on the pitch, and all of you played like ass. That's all that happened. Played like complete fucking ass. Then you go into the weekend, right? Now we're hearing we're nervous about the game. We don't know how we're gonna be received. Well, don't do what you did where you went to the manager, you went to the board complaining about, oh, I don't want to play right back. I want to play midfield. Guess what, asshole? You play better as a right back than as a fucking midfielder. That's why you moved to right back. That's why we need you at right back. Then Mr. Jude Bellingham, oh, I don't know the tactics. I don't know here. Dude, I love you, man, but I'm gonna criticize you for how you played on that final. You couldn't even place a ball. A goalkeeper had more passes than you. What the hell was that all about? And then Mr. Vinicius Jr., who's in this whole mess of a contract renewal, oh, I don't like the way he treated me. I don't like that he got subbed out. Well, jackass, number one, you haven't been able to play defense whenever we're closing out these games. You've been physically a misery since the beginning of 2025. And guess what? You only scored 13 goals in the whole of 2025. And it took you 20 games this year to score 1 goal. Yeah, it was against a Barca team in the final. Cool, and you turned up. Whatever. I need more of that. I'm not going to go overreact after one game and be like, oh, we got the Vinny back. How many times have we saying this, for instance, 2025, we need the old Vinny back? I haven't seen that guy in a long time. And by Vinny, I mean like he went 5 games, 10 games, 6 games in a row, fucking dominating his fullback. But I haven't seen that in a whole year, right? So then the news comes out, right? After the whole... I'm so happy they got booed. I don't know if you saw it. They got booed the living class, and that was class.
In the tunnel and everything.
They even had the little hand things, the little towels out there.
Oh, the handkerchiefs. Yeah. The white towels.
Come on now. I mean, you got this guy sacked because, and yes, he wasn't perfect. We can agree on that. But this is a young manager that had ideas, and your egos got in the way into which our team failed, our defense sucks, and our offense sucks. And you got a manager fired. An inspirational manager that had tactics and ideas in mind. Yes, he wasn't perfect. Yes, he's not a great man, but he had ideas. And now he might go to a new team and make them even better. When the idea of him was to bring a little bit of balls, a little bit of character to these players, and help out a little bit of football and style and a set structure so that we don't get dominated by teams like Barca, by teams like Arsenal, by teams like Bayern. And you got rid of him like that so easily because your egos are so inflated. Ridiculous. And then after the boost that they got, and the main three were like probably Vinny, Jude, and Valverde. And I won't say I want them all sold or anything like that. But you know what? You need a little bit of a kick up the ass because I'm here, and it's so embarrassing because they might need more. Because now I'm hearing the reports that the board and the club, the board and the players were so offended by the little booze. Are you serious? You got offended? Really? Really? You got offended by that? Oh, we need a support. No, how about you go perform and you don't snake out your managers. You don't snake out your team. How about that? So ridiculous. I don't know. And it brings up the point. Is booing the right way to get players going? Is booing the right way? Is there a moment where like we have to break the fine lines of like, we need to support the team. We need to be a good fan base and go out there. We need to support and cheer on. But then, but is there points where maybe booing does work? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Before I answer that question real quick, there is a solution for these players on the board. Send 2-3 years to Manchester and forget.
No. Mike muted. I don't want them near United. Don't make them even worse.
Send 2-3 years Manchester and forget.
We only sign Madrid players when they turn 30. That's like the United motto right there. So
well, yeah, you're right, but maybe like when they're 23,
I need these
24,
players to
send 2-3 years
improve. That's what I
Manchester.
want. I want them to care. I want them to fight. I don't want them to go into a club where it's still potentially rotten. I don't need that. But my point is,
no, what I'm saying, that's when they'll realize like how bad things could be and how toxic things really could be if they think the current situation is bad.
That's fair.
So to answer your question about like is booing the thing or whatever, in Real Madrid's situation, just like the things that have been going on, and like me being the person I am, I'm like, I'll support the coach, probably most likely if they have like good ideas, if they're a good character, if they have a like just like supporting the players, whatever, get the best out of them. I'll probably support the coach more than I'd like to support the players. Maybe it could be about the same, but just like the way you guys treated Xavi and how he was just ousted, or he didn't get ousted. He like literally quit on his own because he just couldn't deal with your
all this. Oh,
and
I
an
wanted to
ego.
add this too to our listeners.
Right.
I'm also adding the board to this too. I include the players too, but the board as well because you snaked them out too. You put out
Yeah.
these stupid news, these stupid rumors, and you didn't even give them the necessary players which he wanted, which was like another midfielder that we need, and it was evident now. It's evident now. I've seen it the
Yeah.
last 5 games now. We need a midfield. We need a controller
All-
because we're not
all-
putting the players in
yeah.
the right spot, and we have too many repetitive positions. But I just wanted to add that to clarify.
For sure. No, that definitely makes sense. And all that to say is like I think that was definitely the right response. Because like sometimes it's like when you get too complacent, when you think you're like, top of the world, nobody can hurt you, nobody can get to you. I get it, as like, players of Real Madrid, no matter how good or how bad you are, you're gonna be like constantly abused in social media. But to hear it from your own fans in your own stadium, and to the levels that it was, that whistling, the booing, the waving the towels, I mean, it's one thing to like, say or hear things behind the screen, but to see it in front of your face, in front of your head, I mean, I'm goddamn glad that these players like got the
I am so
realization
happy
and the
too.
situation. And it's like, holy hell, we're like that, like hated now, or we're that like, just despised now. I mean, despite,
It's a wake-up
doing what we did for the club. I mean, it's not about what you did for the club like previously. They're disappointed in how you did it in the present situation and with what happened with Xabi Alonso. Because in any situation of the world, doesn't even matter if you're with Real Madrid or whatever, like anything, it's always disrespectful to like, disrespect the coach that you did. Just like it would be disrespectful for a group of students to disrespect the teachers in middle school and high school, whatever. So to do that while getting paid millions that you do and, not performing, yet having the ego to just like, not listen, not follow orders, whatever it is. Like, yeah, you guys goddamn well deserve that treatment. Oh, are you kidding me? Like, I wish they did that damn thing to freaking Glazers and the Ratcliffes so that they could like, maybe get a little taste of that medicine that they've been like feeding us, which is poison.
I agree. I don't know, Isaac. What are your thoughts? I know I'm usually just so critical of Madrid, and you're usually there to calm me down or like just like or add on to it more. What do you? I don't know.
No, I think you bring up an interesting point earlier about like what's the most effective way to kind of like bring about that criticism. I'd agree. I think booing is the most effective. I think we've also seen the levels that fans will go to with this like the age of social media and how far that harassment will stretch sometimes, and what people feel justified and vindicated in doing just because of how their team's performing. So I think if you're leaving it, it's kind of like you're bringing it to work from the fans' perspective. If that's a way you're going to the game, you're booing, you're showing the team, the players, the board at their stadium, like at their grounds, on their territory, on their conditions, like you're voicing your disapproval. And I think that's the most effective way. And I think it's also an easier. I think it needs to be done in a collective matter. I think if you're trying to wage criticisms on an individual level, it's not going to be nearly as effective for those players, for that board to listen. So it needs to all be with one voice, which I think you get out of booing at a game like that over sort of any other method. I don't know. I like I said, I think it's just an overreaction. I think I'm simply put a big fuck up from Madrid. I think that's just the easiest way to put it. I get it. You have your Bayerns, your Madrids. You see it with the Yankees, the Cowboys, all these other major franchises. There's such a need. There's such a feel like there's this championship year in, year out. And while it's a good mentality to have, I think you should obviously be going in to realistically expect it. I think is just irrational. Right. And I think if you're going to make decisions off of irrational logic or irrational decisions, like you're already setting yourself up for failure. I think anytime you're dealing with overreactions with a board like that, when you're responsible for millions, if not billions of dollars, just for in terms of the players and what you're managing, like to make decisions on a snap just like that because things aren't going well in the short term seems like just a big overreaction from my point of view. And I think like mostly it leaves you confused, Jeff, which I think that's a large part that I'm taking away from a lot of the stuff you're talking about right now. Is confused what you're looking for right now, confused on what the solution is, confused on what this means going forward, confused on who's staying, confused on who's going. I mean, just confused on everything. And I think if there's one thing,
I'm
state
just as
you don't want to
confused
be
too.
in, it's confused. You'd rather the devil you do know than the devil you don't know. And I feel like right now, Madrid's dealing right now with a lot of devils that they don't know, or devils that they won't be able to find out until later, and that's really nerve-wracking.
Right. And I completely agree because that's why I said, and that's why we said with the Amarin thing, that's what I said with the Xabi Alonso thing. Look, we're now, because Barca just dropped points today. They're like, what, 2-1 up? They lost 2-0, 2-1 to Real Sociedad away. Right? So we're 1 point. Now imagine we had Xabi Alonso, right? And this is what I mean when I said we overreact, because now we brought in a manager that has no back, and this is no hate to Arbeloa. He's a great guy, cool Madrid like icon or hero, whatever you want to say. But see, what if we would have stick with Xabi, and now we know with a manager like that, he might have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C to counteract whatever they might do for the next few months in the Liga, because we know this league has not been that great. So you have a chance to at least get that through, right? And then we can wait until the summer and be like, okay, if we're thinking about getting rid of him, okay, now we have a 4 months in the backdrop. We have to think of the new manager and everything, and let's make this the right way. Like, let's give him the full month, the full semester, the full year, and then we can make a final decision by the end of it, a more professional decision to make. But what you guys did was you sacked them halfway through with what, a few La Liga games left, when you know that it's still winnable, it's still there if your players just perform, and you got rid of him through that. And now you have managers who we necessarily want or need, like Klopp and Zidane, looking like, why the hell do I even want to go to that? These players don't respect me. This board is going to talk shit to me now. So now it's like, now I'm confused. Now who are we going to get? Are they going to bring a yes man like Arbeloa, who can't even, like, he's just, if you've been seeing the press now, he's just been kissing these players' asses and taking all the blame. And then now we're giving player power to them. Because now who's the next superstar that might replace a Vinny? We're like, oh, we need to get him on board. We need to make him happy. So now who are we going to get? And then the cycle repeats. Now I have to put my hands on these players who evidently don't care. Like, they don't care. They don't care, because now the news that I hear is like, they're sad. Oh, we got butthurt by it. Oh, because the people booed us because we play like shit the last
That's what the point
year.
of booing is.
Yeah.
Right?
The point is
Right?
to make you
And they don't
upset.
get it.
Whoever
So now I'm confused. I'm stuck. And now this Barcelona doesn't mean anything because I don't trust my manager. I don't trust these players, and I gotta pray now.
Mm.
I gotta leave
You
it
remember-
in God's hands, or the universe's hands, or luck's hands, or whatever God you believe in.
Yeah. And another, I guess, world of analogy, or I don't know if it's an analogy, but a connection. I remember years ago, like Lakers fans, they would always boo KCP every time that man would take a 3-point shot because he was shooting like 29, 30, whatever percent. I kid you not, I think the next month that man started shooting like 41% from the three and was actually like eligible for like the All-Stars like 3-point shooting competition or whatever. So it's like sometimes like it can work, but sometimes it can also go wrong. But knowing
Right.
these guys, I think these guys are like mentally strong players. So to have been like shaken by that, which I think is needed sometimes.
Right. I'm
You
just
just
hoping-
gotta represent the badge. Go play for your fans. Go play for the club and the history that you support, and do it with some like respect too. And
have
like
some decency.
you all are exactly. You all are like talented freaking players. Like you guys can like on any day with individual talent can win it. Now work as a team, work with your coach, with your coaching staff, but also with the fans too. Gain that trust. Like lower on that ego and whatever, that negativity, that toxicity, and just go to work. Like you mentioned, Barca, they just dropped points. Oh, guess what? You're only a point away from like tying and like winning the league. It's still a possibility. Yes, you got knocked out of the Copa and the Super Copa, but that's like realistically trophies and tournaments that Madrid doesn't target for. It's La Liga and most importantly Champions
Right.
League, which you guys are still there, which playoffs are going to be starting soon. So lock in like you always do around this time in January to like February, all the way till like May, June. Finish and win the important games that you guys have left, and hopefully this is like some type of turning point. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm hoping so too, but for me, what I'm disappointed is just the reactions after that. But
Yeah.
hey, if they got hurt by it, hey, I'm hoping that this will wake something. This is why I think we'll conclude it. I don't know, Ciaran, if you want to give your thoughts too, but I think if you're in agreement or
Yeah, it's just like what you said with the players. Like they wanted Ancelotti out last year because he wasn't tactical enough, so they brought in a
the
younger
board
manager.
wanted him out. I don't think the
Well,
players
yeah,
wanted him.
okay. The board wanted him out, but
They deserve
Anyway,
it. We'll mention board, yeah.
the players, wanted Alonso out. They didn't think he was tactical enough, or they didn't like what he was doing. They got what they wanted. They got the reward, so they better prove themselves now. That's it.
Right.
Like I'm not saying Alonso was the problem, but the players think he was, so they have to prove themselves for the rest of the season, and it's on them. I mean, booing in football, it can be a harsh wake-up call. It can work. It worked for Madrid in that game. Sometimes booing's unnecessary. I feel like sometimes like booing at halftime,
sure.
I don't always agree with because I don't see how that helps the players. But in this case, I think Madrid, the players deserve to be booed because they got that
Because
man
we heard
sacked.
all the stuff that they did behind them, and it's very unprofessional,
Yeah,
very snaky.
even like when Mbappe told the players not to applaud Barcelona, despite what Alonso
Oh
says,
yeah,
that
the
was very
guard of honor,
disrespectful.
right?
That
Yeah.
was very blatant. And if you look at Madrid's board, they have to get it right the next 3 or 4 months when they're looking at their next head coach. They really have to look in the mirror and say, what do they want? It feels like they almost don't know what they want. They go from a legend like Ancelotti to a tactician like Alonso. You didn't like that either. So what do you want?
What do you
What
want?
else is there out there for them?
Right.
I know.
I think Xabi was that man because you could have at least let him get through the struggle of this year. Because again, this is his first big team that he's at. I know Bayer Leverkusen was good, but this is the first year where he's managing a big team. Maybe he could have gone to another team, but this is the first team. His defenders went out. A lot of his play. Yes, give him time, get the right man, and then give him 1 more year, and then we'll see. Because he does have the players there, but don't do it halfway in the year. And then for me, the players. I mean, I'm in agreement, and I think I'll just end it off with this, right? I think bullying works sometimes because it just gives you like that little notch where like, okay, let me prove these guys wrong. So I'm hoping the God that tick. Shout out to Kobe Yanes. He gave me this phrase I might use for the rest of my life. I hope that ticked the nerve inside of them. We're like, you know what? let's actually shut these spoiled brats and then go out and win because we are spoiled brats.
Yeah.
We are, and that's because we've seen so many great players. But at the same time, you're playing for the club, the biggest club in the world. We actually want to see you perform. Like, come on now. Like, if you perform, we're gonna support you. If we think that something's wrong and it's not right, we're gonna boo you. And what they did, it's not like they've been playing bad for like a month or two. No, they've been playing bad for a whole year. They get paid millions, and they got rid of a manager in the most snakiest of ways and the most unprofessional ways. So we're gonna boo because of that, and because we demand excellence too, because that's what Madrid is. But
Los
agree with
Blancos.
all three.
As
that's
much
what
as they don't
United
like it,
fans
they're
should be
public
doing, too.
figures.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you guys. I think that I'm gonna call it quits there for this episode. I know it's a long one, but I mean, we didn't record for like the last, this through the weekday. But just want to say thank you again. Hopefully United turn around. Hopefully Madrid turn around. Congrats again to Senegal. Congrats to anybody that went to the NFC or AFC Championship. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, so we're about to go watch that Rams and Bears game. But yeah, man. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Yeah, thank
conversation.
you.
Good rage. We let all of our therapy out. This is a therapy session at times too.
Yes, sir.
You've
You've been listening to the Outlawn Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jeffrey Canova. And please stay tuned for any other reels, episodes, clips, any of that fun stuff. And please leave comment, share any of that fun stuff for our hosts. We like your comments, man. We love your comments. That's all I'm gonna say. The hate that you give us just fuels us even more. Thank you.